Hello YouTube, my name is Big Boy Snatch on TV, aka Wakanda Snatch One, because I got playing around. As you can tell by the title of the thumbnail, this is my WWE NXT Deadline review and highlights. So if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys please full watch the video, like and subscribe. Follow my social media down below in the description because I'm pushing towards 2K subscribers, and my journey is to get monetized on YouTube for the very first time. Go check out my WWE Smackdown review and highlights, and let's get started because I got something to say about the show. Now, WWE NXT Deadline was a good show, and I give this show a 7 out of 10. It was way better than Raw, Smackdown, NXT, and Wargames at the same time combined together. Alright, without further ado, let's get started. WWE NXT Deadline 2025 airs live tonight, December 6th from the Boeing Center at Techport in San Antonio, Texas, with multiple championships on the line. The return of the Iron Survivor Challenge and deep personal rivalries ready to boil over. NXT Deadline is set to close out the NXT calendar with a bang. Pre-show begins at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, with the main card kicking off at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. U.S. fans can stream the event live on Peacock, while the international viewers can tune in Netflix. Ringside News will provide live match by match updates and highlights all night long. Keep this page refreshed for the latest results and join the conversation in the comment section below. WWE NXT Deadline Countdown Show 12/6/25 update and highlights. Alright. Megan Morant and Sam Roberts host the pre-show. Arrival shots of Jevon and Saruka were shown. Megan Morant said the show will kick off with Ricky Saints versus Obafemi. That match between Ricky Saints and Obafemi for the NXT Championship should have been main evented. It will make perfect sense. But I'm just speaking facts. But anyway, let me continue. The host went over the NXT Deadline card. Then Megan Morant introduced a video explaining the Iron Survivors match rules. After that, they showed John Cena naming the Women's Iron Survivor competitors with a clip from his Funny Friday camo. Kelly Kincaid interviewed Kendall Gray and Wayne Sinclair. Kelly Kincaid asked Kendall how she's feeling after everything that's happened. Kendall Gray said she's speechless. It's a full circle moment. She used to wear a "You Can't See Me" chain as a kid, and now John Cena pick her. She said she always been competitive and focused on her goals. Now she wants to prove she belongs. Alright, Kelly then asks about her game plan. Wayne Sinclair doesn't even need one. Kendall Gray added that she thrives under pressure and plans to stay out of their penalty box while going for the win. She confident and wants to prove all her hard work led to this moment. Kelly asks about the dynamic. When Sinclair says she knows what the match is like and can't wait to watch Kendall Gray compete. Kelly said she looked up to Wayne Sinclair's performance last year, and now it's their time. She calls this a big moment and says she's going to win. By the end of the night, people will only be talking about one woman, and it'll be her, which is rightfully deserved. Cause Kendall Gray got that dog in her, and that's all I gotta say. It says they discussed the match between Tatum Paxley and Easy Dane. All right, let me take a sip of my water. They show a preview of the men's world championship match. They show a preview of the men's North American championship match. Blake Howard sat down with Deion Lennox earlier this week for an interview. Blake asked what it meant to be picked by John Cena. Deion Lennox said he used to be pushed around and treated like a joke by people who didn't really know him. He had to find others like him to form a bond. Now having John Cena recognize him as a dominant force shows he's on the right path. He made it clear that nothing. He made it clear he's not trying to be anyone else. He's here to be Dion Lennox. Blake then asks about giving up this part of the tag titles. Dion Lennox explained that he wants the titles to stay with the group, but he focused on singles gold now. He's not splitting his attention. To him, it's all about family. When when one eats, we all eat. He says he's going to prove John Cena made the right call by picking him. Blake brought up Dion Lennox. Dion Lennox changed in attitude. Dion Lennox said that fire is still there. Push him hard enough, and you'll see it. He feels like he's finally getting what he deserves with one win. He'll be one step away from becoming an NXT champion. Sorry. If he falls, the blame's on him. But if he wins, he said there is no one else but me. Finally, Blake asked who Dion wants to face if he wins. Dion Lennox said he waited a long time to confront Overfemi. That's the match he wants. He said nothing would be more satisfying than beating the man who started everything. Alright. As the countdown ends, they go over the full match card one more time. WWE NXT Deadline results 12/6/25 live match updates and highlights. Vic Joseph and Booker T are your announcers. They kick off with the opening video package. Saruka is shown arriving at the venue, followed by Lola Vice and then Carmen Petrovic. Jevon is seen walking through the parking lot, while Leon Slayer appears next. The shot then cuts to Joe Hendry walking backstage. So we get the NXT Championship match: Ricky Saints versus Obafemi. And this match right here, I ain't even gonna lie. This was a good match in my opinion, but this first match should have been main evented. So and that's all I gotta say from here. Obafemi makes his way to the ring first. As he walks out, the crowd chants "Oba, Oba," in a style reminiscent of Goldberg's classic entrance. Ricky Saints makes his entrance next, heading to the ring to face Obafemi. Ricky Saints starts off by going for Obafemi's leg, but Obafemi quickly tosses him aside. Obafemi then backs Ricky Saints into the corner, but Ricky Saints managed to slip away. Ricky Saints locks in an armbar, and even when Obafemi attempts a backbreaker, Ricky Saints holds on tight to the submission. Obafemi tries for a slam, but Ricky Saints counters by keeping the arm bar in place. Eventually, Obafemi powers through with a delayed backbreaker. He follows up with a kick and transitions into a wrist lock, then sends Ricky Saints to the mat with an arm wringer. Obafemi lands a punch to Ricky Saints' midsection and lifts him up for a snake eyes. He then hosts Ricky Saints onto his shoulders, but Ricky Saints grabs the ropes to block the move. Ricky Saints managed to avoid a F5 and counters with a DDT. He then heads to the ropes and walks them for an old school style move, striking and pose afterward. Ricky Saints applies a wrist lock, slips between Obafemi's legs, and attempts a drop toe hold, but Obafemi doesn't go down. Obafemi fires back with their forearms, but Ricky Saints finally gets him to the mat. Obafemi grabs Ricky Saints by the throat, looking for a chokeslam, but Ricky Saints escapes and catches Obafemi with a boot to the face. Ricky Saints follows up with a missile dropkick for a close near fall. Ricky Saints lands a few forearms, but Ricky Saints goes for a crossbody. Obafemi catches him in midair and delivers a punishing backbreaker. Obafemi keeps hold of him, lifts Ricky Saints onto his shoulders, press him overhead, and drops him face first onto the mat. He follows with a double sledge to Ricky Saints' back, then chokes him on the ropes before showing off with a strut. Obafemi crushes Ricky Saints with their forearms in the corner and launches him with a belief suplex, scoring a near fall. He stays on the back. He stays on the attack with punches and uppercuts that knocks Ricky Saints down again. Overfemi continues with more strikes and hits a Northern Lariat before doing push-ups to taunt Ricky Saints. Overfemi applies a top wrist lock, grinding his elbow into Ricky Saints' jaw, and follows with a series of near falls. He throws more punches, then lifts Ricky Saints for a power slam, but Ricky Saints slips out and fights back with a drop kick to Overfemi's knee. He charges with a running back elbow and in the corner. He goes for old school again. This time hitting a hurricanrana. Ricky Saints follows up with a huge spear and gets a near fall. Ricky Saints blocks a powerbomb attempt and goes for a back body drop, but Overfemi stops it. Ricky Saints hits a clothesline, and when Overfemi tries for a discussed lariat, Ricky Saints counters with a cutter for a near fall. Ricky Saints then lands a guillotine with body scissors, holding on tight as Overfemi gets to his feet. Overfemi reaches for the ropes, but drops to his knees from the pressure. To escape, Overfemi Ricky Saints onto the top rope. Overfemi charges with a clothesline, but Ricky Saints moves, sending Overfemi to the top rope to the floor, wasting no time. Ricky Saints hits a suicide dive that sends Overfemi crashing into the announcer table. Overfemi beats the count and gets back in the ring. Ricky Saints hits a famouser for a near fall. Ricky Saints throws punches, but Overfemi fights back with a clothesline and some hard chops. He follows up with a running uppercut in the corner. Overfemi lifts Ricky Saints for a dominator, but Ricky Saints escapes and rolls him up in a perfect near fall. Overfemi recovers, picks Ricky Saints up, and this time lands the dominator for another close count. Overfemi charged for a shoulder in the corner, but Ricky Saints moves and Overfemi crashes into the ring post and falls to the floor. Ricky Saints tries a kick from the apron, but Overfemi chops him. Ricky Saints then sends Overfemi into the ring steps. Ricky Saints attempts a tornado DDT on the floor, but lands awkwardly on the steps. Back in the ring, Ricky Saints hits a tornado DDT for a near fall. Overfemi counters Ricky's Rushamble into his falls from grace, but Ricky Saints kicks out at 2. Overfemi falls with a sit-out powerbomb and gets the 3 count. The winner and your new NXT champion, Overfemi. This was a good match, but this match right here should have been main evented. But this was a good match. So Overfemi regains the NXT championship. And a good match, but this match once again should have been main evented. It would make perfect sense. After the match, Ricky Saints gets to his feet and offers a handshake, and Overfemi accepts. After Ricky Saints lost to Overfemi, it is time for Ricky Saints to be called up to the main roster. Ricky Saints is going to Smackdown, and that's just my opinion. It's nothing but facts. Alright. So Ruka's on the phone saying she wishes Zarya was there with her. Zarya responds saying she thought so, didn't want her there. So Ruka apologized for not telling her about Saturday night's main event. Zarya says she would have liked to hear it from Saruka directly. She adds that they need to talk and wishes Saruka good luck. A video plays showing Hank and Tank on their tour of Japan. They announced they'll be back on NXT this Tuesday night. Women's Iron Survivor Challenge: Saruka, Jordan Grace, and Kendall and Keelan versus. Women's Iron Survivor Challenge: Saruka versus Jordan Grace versus Keilani Jordan versus Love Bites versus Kendall Gray. My pick was Kendall Gray to win, and this was my pick. I'm sticking with Kendall Gray, and I'm glad Kendall Gray won. But this was a fun match to watch. But I'm glad Kendall Gray won. Keilani Jordan and Kendall Gray are the first 2 entrants in the match. Keilani Jordan and Kendall Gray exchange a few words before locking up. Kendall Gray gets a waistlock, but Keilani Jordan breaks free with a kick and an Irish whip. Kendall Gray floats over in the corner and trips Keilani Jordan. But misses a drop kick. They both go for a leg sweep and quick covers. Kendall Gray gets a jackknife pin, but Kehlani Jordan escapes. Kehlani Jordan snaps Kendall Gray, and Kendall Gray responds with a pair of waist locks takedowns. She follows with a roll up for a near fall. Kehlani Jordan then sends Kendall Gray into the ring post. Kendall Gray bounces back with a leg sweep and hits a slingshot double stomp for another near fall. Kehlani Jordan counters with an inside cradle, and they trade near falls back and forth. Kehlani Jordan heads to the apron and kicks Kendall Gray. Kendall Gray throws a forearm but misses a baseball slide, allowing Kehlani Jordan to hit a double stomp. She follows by running Kendall Gray into the apron. Back in the ring, Kehlani Jordan hits a Northern Light suplex for a near fall. Kendall Gray fires off some punches, but Kehlani Jordan counters with an Irish whip, followed by a backbreaker for a near fall. Kendall Gray responds with a kick, and both competitors take each other down with flying hair whips. Kendall Gray is sent to the apron, and Kehlani Jordan falls by sending her into the turnbuckle. Kehlani Jordan kicks Kendall Gray and lands a leg drop across the ropes for a near fall. Kehlani Jordan heads to the top rope, but Kendall Gray moves out of the way, and Kehlani Jordan rolls through. Kendall Gray takes advantage with a power slam and gets a 3 count. So Kendall Gray scores one fall, and Kehlani Jordan has to enter the penalty box. Next entrance is Jordan Grace. Jordan Grace comes in strong with punches and a gut wrench suplex. She throws Kendall Gray into the corner and hits a running double knee straight to the back, followed by a double jump Vader bomb for a near fall. Jordan Grace blocks a kick and counters with a sunset flip for another near fall. Then transitions into a modified stomp, stomp polar. Polar. Let me take a sip of my water. Kehlani Jordan escapes the penalty box and goes after Jordan Grace with a kick in the forearms. Kendall Gray tries a roll up, but Kehlani Jordan versus it. Kendall Gray grabs an ankle lock, but Kehlani Jordan escapes and rolls her up for a 3 count. Kehlani Jordan 1 fall, Kendall Gray 1 fall, so Kendall Gray goes to the penalty box. Jordan Grace fires off a forearm and kicks Kehlani Jordan, then drives her into the turnbuckle multiple times. She tries for a backslide, then hits a short arm clothesline. Kehlani Jordan locks in a front face lock, but Jordan Grace misses a back fist. Kehlani Jordan lands a roundhouse kick, followed by an X Factor for a near fall. Jordan Grace kicks Kehlani Jordan and goes to the apron. Then clotheslines Kendall Gray as she exits the penalty box. Kehlani Jordan follows up with a twisted pescado onto Jordan Grace and goes for a near fall on Kendall Gray. Kehlani Jordan climbs the top rope, but Jordan Grace cuts her off with an elbow. Kehlani Jordan pushes Kendall Gray off the top rope, but Kendall Gray climbs back up. Jordan Grace gets underneath and delivers an electric chair drop, while Kendall Gray connects with a superplex, sending Kehlani Jordan crashing to the mat. The next entrance is Lola Vice. Excuse me. Lola Vice enters with a flurry of kicks and chops Kendall Gray with a spinning back heel kick for a 3 count. Just a 3 count. Score updates: Kehlani Jordan 1 fall, Kendall Gray 1 fall, and Lola Vice 1 fall. Let me take a sip of my water. Alright, let me continue. Lola Vice hits Naomi style kicks on Jordan Grace, followed by running hip attacks on both Jordan Grace and Kehlani Jordan. Jordan Grace counters with a German suplex, but Lola Vice bounces back and hits a double German suplex on Jordan Grace and Kehlani Jordan at the same time. She follows with more hip attacks and even a stink face, scoring near falls on both Kehlani Jordan and Jordan Grace. Lola Vice hits an axe kick to Kehlani Jordan's back and lands several more kicks. Meanwhile, Kendall Gray goes for a cross arm breaker on Jordan Grace. But Jordan Grace counters with their roll up. Kendall Gray reverses it and gets the 3 count. Excuse me. Update score. Keelani Jordan. Yeah, Keelani Jordan 1 fall. Kendall Gray 2 falls. And Lola Vice 1 fall. Kendall Gray blocks Keelani's split-legged moonsault and delivers a German superplex. Lola Vice quickly falls with a kick to Keelani Jordan for a near fall. Keelani Jordan hits a forearms, but Lola Vice counters with a kick and sends her into the ropes. Kendall Gray falls with a kick. Lola Vice goes for a roll-up, but Kendall Gray counters into a cross armbreaker, then transitions into a waist lock. Jordan Grace kicks open the penalty box door into Keelani Jordan's face. She hits a spine buster on Kendall Gray and falls with a package powerbomb for a near fall. Jordan Grace blocks a kick and delivers a leg trap suplex for another close count. Keelani Jordan returns with a crossbody on Jordan Grace, but Jordan Grace rolls through and gets a 3 count. Excuse me. Score update. Keelani Jordan 1 fall, Kendall Gray 2 falls, Lola Vice 1 falls, and Jordan Grace 1 fall. The final entrance is Soruka. Before Soruka can enter, she's taken to the back. In the ring, Jordan Grace nearly scores another pin, while Kendall Gray and Lola Vice trap her in double arm bars. Lola Vice counters a roll-up for a near fall. The action goes back and forth. Keelani Jordan pulls Soruka off the apron and drives her leg into the steel steps. Back in the ring, Kendall Gray and Lola Vice double team Jordan Grace. Jordan Grace tries a double suplex but gets reversed, and they both get near falls. She fights back with shoulder tackles and hits a blue thunder bomb. Jordan Grace sets up for a 5-knuckle shuffle on Kendall Gray dedicated to John Cena, but Keelani Jordan stops her with a super kick. Lola Vice grabs Keelani Jordan in a waist lock, but Keelani Jordan rolls her up. Kendall Gray blocks her kick, and Keelani Jordan tries a double draw kick, but Lola Vice blocks it. Keelani Jordan lands on her feet and hits a double Pele kick. Jordan Grace and Keelani Jordan fight on the apron, and Keelani Jordan hits a Spanish spot to the outside. That was a good spot. Excuse me. That was a good spot by Keelani Jordan. Soruka returns and kicks Keelani Jordan, then sends her back into the ring. Soruka hits a excuse me. What I was trying to say was Soruka hit Soul Snatcher on both Lola Vice and Keelani Jordan and pins them both. So the way that Soruka hit the Soul Snatcher, Soruka did a 2-for-1 special on Lola Vice and Keelani Jordan, the Soul Snatcher. I love that move, that finish move right there. Alright. Score updates. Keelani Jordan 1 fall, Kendall Gray 2 falls, Lola Vice 1 fall, Jordan Grace 1 fall, and Soruka 2 falls. So Kendall Gray and Soruka are tied with 2 falls. Same with Keelani Jordan, Lola Vice, and Jordan Grace. Alright. Soruka whips Kendall Gray into the corner and hits a German suplex. She falls with a long blower style move on Jordan Grace. Soruka goes to the top and lands a double missile dropkick on Jordan Grace, and Kendall Gray then connects with a running knee to Jordan Grace for a near fall. Soruka locks in a dragon sleeper on Kendall Gray. Jordan Grace rolls Kendall Gray over into a single leg crab, and Soruka transitions into a camel clutch. Lola Vice enters and applies a sleeper on Keelani Jordan as she and Jordan Grace exit the penalty box with 5 minutes left. Lola Vice delivers a series of kicks, but Soruka catches her with a slingshot X Factor. Kendall Gray hits Shades of Gray on Jordan Grace for a near fall. Keelani Jordan rolls up Jordan Grace and scores a 3 count. Excuse me. Score updates. Keelani Jordan 2 falls, Kendall Gray 2 falls, Lola Vice 1 fall, Jordan Grace 1 fall, and Soruka 2 falls. Excuse me. Loyal Vice throws Kendall Gray into the steel steps while Soruga takes out Jordan Grace with a kick. Loyal Vice hits a seated splash on Kendall Gray. Soruga lands a moonsault off the apron, and Keelaney Jordan follows with a moonsault. Back in the ring, Keelaney Jordan hits an Olympic slam dedicated to Kurt Angle, but misses a 450 splash and rolls through. With 2.5 minutes remaining, Jordan Grace hits a German suplex and a blockbuster combo, then lands a powerbomb on Keelaney Jordan and gets a 3 count. Kendall Gray hits a meteor on Jordan Grace for a near fall, while Lola Vice quickly gets a 3 count on Kendall Gray. Soruka goes for another Soul Snatcher, but stumbles into the ropes as time runs out. Excuse me. Lola Vice, Lola Vice locks in a rear naked choke on Soruka on the floor. Soruka fights her way to the ring steps and hits a Soul Snatcher on Lola Vice outside the ring. I love that Soul Snatcher. She rolls Lola back into the ring, but Keelaney Jordan catches Soruka with a kick to the back of the leg. Keelaney Jordan falls over the 450 splash, but Jordan Grace breaks up the pin just in time. Kendall Gray takes advantage and hits Shades of Gray on Lola Vice, scoring a 3 count. Final score: Keelaney Jordan 2 falls, Kendall Gray 3 falls, Lola Vice 2 falls, Jordan Grace 2 falls, and Soruka 2 falls. So the winner of the match, Kendall Gray. This was a pretty fun. This was a good match in my opinion, but Kendall Gray deserves it. This was her moment right here, and I called it straight down the middle. And shout out to my boy TNO Crew for going live on Twitch. And that's all I gotta say. Good match right here. After the match, Jesse Jane comes out with Fallon Henley and Laney Reed. They stare down Kendall Gray from the Azel to Azel. I'm sorry. Blake Moreau is with Ava. She brings up the idea of a weekly open challenge for the title. Excuse me. Ava says Blake Moreau is only champion because Zarya threw in the towel. She questions if Blake Moreau can defend the title every week and says she's not as tough as Ilya Dragunov or Sami Zayn. Still, she agrees to the challenge. Alright. Elsewhere, Sarah interviewed Miles Bourne and asked what number he's choosing. Miles Bourne says he wanted to face Ricky Saints, but he's fine going up against Over Family again. He explains his strategy and says he'll be entering third. He asks that John Cena pick him for this match. Alright. Backstage, Keelaney Jordan Grace are brawling. Officials rush in to separate them. So Jordan Grace and Keelaney Jordan and Jordan Grace feud has gotten started. This feud is far from over. So let's move on. And this is the match I did not care about. NXT North American Championship match. Ethan Page versus Mr. Iguana. What did Mr. Iguana do to deserve the NXT North American Championship match? Mr. Iguana has been doing nothing. But I can say this though. Jasper Troy should have won after Ethan Page for the NXT North American Champion, and that's nothing but facts. But Jasper Troy is a speed champion. That speed champion is only made for jobbers only. But in my opinion, I would have Jasper Troy go after Ethan Page for the NXT North American Championship, and I would give it a chance. But this match I did not really care about. Alright, Mystery Iguana starts with a wrist lock, but Ethan Page counters with a shoulder tackle. Mystery Iguana plays possum. And when Page tries to help him up, Mr. Iguana surprises him with an arm drag, followed by a drop kick. Mr. Iguana catches Ethan Page with a curve kick before a near fall. Ethan Page fires back with a knee and an Irish whip, but Mr. Iguana floats over and grabs his puppet. Ethan Page responds with a DDT and throws Mr. Iguana into the turnbuckles. Ethan Page climbs up for a suplex, but Mr. Iguana used the puppet to whip him, causing a distraction. As Ethan Page argues with the referee, Mr. Iguana hits a crossbody for a near fall. He follows up with a satellite arm drag, sending Ethan Page to the floor. Mr. Iguana goes for a pescado, but Ethan Page slides back into the ring. He catches Mr. Iguana with a punch and sends him into the ring steps. Back inside, Ethan Page lands a back elbow. Ethan Page whips Mr. Iguana into the corner but runs into a boot. Mr. Iguana follows up with a springboard crossbody. He grabs his puppet again and he bites Ethan Page. Mr. Iguana heads to the ropes, but Ethan Page yanks him down and hits a power slam. Ethan Page stays on the attack with punches and stomps, then hits a body slam. He finished the sequence with a hard boot to Mr. Iguana's head. Ethan Page grabs Mr. Iguana's puppet, spits in his face, and throws up the Oswald. Mr. Iguana is furious and responds with a hard chop to Ethan Page. Then hits a tornado DDT. Mr. Iguana climbs the turnbuckles, but Ethan Page crushes him and sets up for a super Eagle's Edge. Mr. Iguana counters with a super runner, sending Ethan Page flying. Ethan Page rolls out to the floor, and Mr. Iguana falls with a flip dive into a hurricane on the outside. Back in the ring, Mr. Iguana goes up top and lands a flying headbutt for a near fall. Mr. Iguana heads to the top rope, but Ethan Page cuts him off and throws him down hard to the mat. Ethan Page follows up with a twisted gin, and gets a 3 count. The winner is still your WWE NXT North American Champion, Ethan Page. This match I did not care about, and that's all I gotta say. Excuse me. Sarah Screamer congratulates Kendall Gray on her big win. Kendall Gray says she's full of adrenaline and admits nobody except her to come out on top. Soruka walks in and tells Kendall Gray she was the better woman tonight, but add this: if she had her full time in the match and was at 100%, the results would be different. Soruka says she plans to fight for her friend. Later on, Overfame approaches Dark State and tells the young lady, "I did my part." The young lady replies, "Then I'll do mine." Alright, so we get Tatum Paxley versus Easy Dame. And this match right here, I ain't gonna lie, this was a decent match what it was. It wasn't good, it was just a decent match. Nico Vice and Sean Spears get into the ring before the match, but the referee steps in and sends them to the back. Easy Dame tries to jump Tatum Paxley from behind, but Tatum Paxley turns around just in time to stop her. The referee calls for the bell. Easy Dame tries to mess with Tatum Paxley's head and thinks she's got in her head, but it doesn't work. Tatum Paxley fires back with hard forearms. Easy Dame responds with a clothesline to take control. Tatum Paxley hits a kick followed by a flip leg drop, sending Easy Dame to the floor. Easy Dame backs off and begs for no mercy. Tatum Paxley follows her outside and offers to help her up, as Easy Dame insists everything is fine. They share a hug until Easy Dame suddenly gives the classic John Cena heel turn. That's the part I like right there. I love that sequence right there. And John Cena's heel turn stare and slams Tatum Paxley into the ring steps. That's exactly what John Cena did when John Cena turned against Cody Rhodes. Alright, let me continue. I had to put that out there. Easy Dame then kicks Tatum Paxley and follows up with a back elbow. Tatum Paxley drives Easy Dame into the corner and goes for a running across body into a turnbuckles. But Easy Dame gets her knees up just in time. Easy Dame kicks Tatum Paxley, whips her into the opposite corner, and hits a series of shoulders and punches. Easy Dame follows up with a satellite backbreaker for a near fall and lands the European uppercut. She delivers a 2 stiff knees to Tatum Paxley's midsection. Tatum Paxley counters by locking in a sleeper hold and jumps on Easy Dame's back. Easy Dame tries to shake her off by backing into the turnbuckles. Easy Dame hits another knee to the midsection, then drops Tatum Paxley across the top rope. She follows by sending Tatum Paxley shoulder first into the ring post and connects with another knee strike. AC Dame hits a backbreaker and a near fall. Easy Dame hits a backbreaker and falls by locking in a Boston Crab. Taylor Patsy cross towards the ropes, but EC Dane pulls her back into the center of the ring and transitions into a lion tamer. Taylor Patsy managed to counter with the inside cradle for a near fall. Excuse me. Easy Dame dares Tatum Patsy to fight back and slaps her across the face. Tatum Patsy snaps, unleashing a fury of punches and kicks. She hits a German suplex followed by a stiff kick, then connects with a leaping elbow drop for a near fall. Tatum Patsy climbs the turnbuckles, but Easy Dame cuts her off with a forearm. Easy Dame climbs up and sets for a superplex, but Tatum Patsy blocks it and shoves her down to the mat. As Tatum Patsy comes off the top, Easy Dame catches her with a drop kick, then falls with a swinging neck breaker for a near fall. Easy Dame and Tatum Patsy trade forearms back and forth in the center of the ring. Tatum Patsy lands a super kick, and Easy Dame misses a bicycle kick. Tatum Patsy takes control with a perfect bomb and follows it up with a suicide dive to the outside of the ring. On the floor, Tatum Patsy hits a roundhouse kick off the announcer table and then delivers a German suplex onto the floor. She then clears the announcer table and Easy Dame across with a forearm. Tatum Patsy sets up for a cemetery dive as Easy Dame begs for no mercy, but Tatum Patsy hits anyway, slamming her onto the tables. Thank God the table didn't break. Tatum Patsy rolls Easy Dame back into the ring, but before she can follow, Shawn Spears appears and offers her some dolls. Tatum Patsy hesitates to take the dolls, and suddenly reverts to her innocent persona. Shawn Spears rips her head off. Shawn Spears rips the head of one of the dolls, and Tatum Patsy strikes him in anger. Easy Dame takes control, hitting a kick and then a sit-out powerbomb for a 3 count. The winner of the match, Easy Dame. This was a decent match for what it was. Alright, let me continue. Let me take a sip of my water. Alright. Jevon Evans tells Ricky Sainz to stay positive, reminding him that he's been champion before and will be champion again. But Ricky Sainz says he can't do it. He can't beat over Femi, and now the impossible is back. Jevon Evans responds by saying he's not waiting until the New Year's Evil. He plans to win the title before then. Shiloh Hill is in this room talking about how he first got into football. He says he once saw squirrels talking, chased one of them, and a coach noticed how fast he was. He also mentions he has a tooth stuck in his head from a fight when he was 9. Alright, let's move on. Shiloh Hill will have his first NXT match this week. Kehlani Jordan will face Jordan Grace, and the U.S. title open challenge begins Tuesday. Alright, so we get the main event of the evening. Men's Iron Survivor Challenge. Jevon Evans versus Joe Hendry, aka Mid Henry, versus Miles Bourne versus Leon Slayer and Deion Lennox. This match I really enjoy, but thank God Jevon Evans won. Jevon Evans is the future of the WWE because Jevon Evans has that dog in him. And that's all I gotta say. And I hope Jevon Evans will be called up to the main roster. No matter where he goes, I got nothing but respect for Jevon Evans because Jevon Evans has that dog in him. Alright, the first 2 participants are Leon Slater and Jevon Evans. Jevon Evans goes for a springboard cutter, but Leon Slater blocks it. Leon Slater hits a kick on the apron and sends Jevon Evans down to the mat. They lock up with a Greco-Roman knuckle lock, and Leon Slater takes Jevon Evans down, but Jevon Evans kicks him away. Leon Slayer follows up with a head scissors takedown. Jevon Evans responds with a snapmare, and they each try to block kicks. Jevon Evans holds on to Leon Slayer's foot, but Leon Slayer breaks free with an insecurity. Leon Slayer connects with a handspring back elbow for a near fall. Then lands a few punches. Jevon Evans fires back with a shot of his own, and after a brief exchange, Leon Slayer connects with a kick. Jevon Evans hits an Irish whip. Leon Slayer tries to float over, but Jevon Evans doesn't fall into the corner. Jevon Evans hits a springboard head scissors and a draw kick for a near fall. Jevon Evans lands a two hard chops, and Leon Slayer answers back with a few of his own. Jevon Evans floats over and delivers another chop. Leon Slayer counters with a body scissor for a near fall, and they go back and forth with quick pin attempts. Jevon Evans goes for another springboard cutter, but Leon Slayer dodges and rolls him off for a near fall. Jevon Evans finally lands a cutter, but when he goes for another springboard move, Leon Slayer catches him with a drop kick. Jevon Evans recovers and nails a hurricanrana for the 3 count. Current scores: Dion Lennox 0 falls, Miles Bourne 0 falls, Joe Andrews 0 falls, Leon Slater 0 falls, and Jevon Evans 1 fall. Alright. Next entrance is Miles Bourne. Miles Bourne starts in with a clothesline and a European uppercuts, picking up a quick near falls. He goes for a belly to back suplex, but Jevon Evans lands on his feet and hits a thirst kick. Miles Bourne responds with the Olympic slam for a near fall, dedicated to Kurt Angle. Miles Bourne lands a punch, but Jevon Evans sends him to the floor. Leon Slayer capitalizes with a crossbody on Jevon Evans for a near fall, then drop kicks Miles Bourne off the apron. Jevon Evans tries to suplex Leon Slayer, but Leon Slayer mule kicks him onto Miles Bourne. Leon Slayer rolls through and suplexes Jevon Evans over the top rope, hanging on himself. The two trade punches on the apron until Miles Bourne hits a flip dive to take them both out. Miles Bourne rolls Jevon Evans back into the ring for a near fall, then brings Dion Lennox in and nearly pins him too. Miles Bourne delivers a series of European uppercuts to Leon Slayer, but Leon Slayer fires back with a chop. Jevon Evans joins in and with a chop to Leon Slayer, and Miles Bourne answers with a punch to Jevon Evans. Miles Bourne tries to punch Jevon Evans for a near fall, then gets another near fall on Leon Slayer. Jevon Evans and Miles Bourne start trading punches. Jevon Evans lands a chop on Miles Bourne and then hits a Superman punch on Leon Slayer. Leon Slayer fires back with a Superman punch of his own to Miles Bourne. Leon Slayer attempts a handspring back elbow, and when Jevon Evans and Miles Bourne try to catch him, he lands on his feet. Jevon Evans hits a suplex followed by a splash on Dion Lennox for a near fall. The next entrance is Dion Lennox. Dion Lennox enters with a clothesline to Jevon Evans and takes out both Miles Bourne and Leon Slayer. He delivers shoulders to Miles Bourne and hits a Northern Lights suplex for a near fall. Leon Slayer tries to fight back with kicks, but Dion Lennox answers with a kick of his own and sends Leon Slayer to the apron. Jevon Evans and Dion Lennox trade punches in the corner until Leon Slayer pulls Jevon Evans down and lands a few strikes. Jevon Evans returns the favor and together they place Dion Lennox on the top rope, setting up for a double superplex. Dion Lennox fights them off, but Leon Slayer kicks him from the outside. Miles Bourne then lifts Leon Slayer onto his shoulders, and Dion Lennox connects with a doomsday device. Dion Lennox follows up with an island driver on Jevon Evans and scores a 3 count. Score updates: Dion Lennox 1 fall, Miles Bourne 0, Joe Hendry 0, Leon Slayer 0, and Jevon Evans 1 fall. Miles Bourne responds with a big boo to Dion Lennox. and locks in a sleeper hold, but Dion Lennox escapes with a snapmare. Miles Bourne delivers belly to back suplex to both Dion Lennox and again Leon Slater, getting a near fall on Leon Slater. Miles Bourne tries punches and whips Leon Slater into Dion Lennox. Leon Slater bounces back with a jumping side kick, then climbs the top turnbuckles, but Jevon never shows him off. Jevon never hits a springboard clothesline on Miles Bourne, then a suicide dive to take out Leon Slater. Back in the ring, Jevon Neves hits a frog splash on Miles Bourne. Miles Bourne for a near fall. Jevon Neves climbed to the top rope, but Dion Lennox cuts him off with a punch and sets up the super power slam before he can hit it. Miles Bourne steps in and stops Dion Lennox. So the final entrance is Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry is a mid wrestler. That's all I gotta say. Some of you say he's the worst. Anyway, Joe Hendry storms into the match with a clothesline to both Dion Lennox and Miles Bourne. He draws Leon Slater with a neck breaker, then catches Jevon Neves and hits a follow-away slam. Joe Hendry doesn't stop there. He lifts both Leon Slater and Jevon Neves up. I'm sorry. Joe Hendry doesn't stop there. He lifts both Leon Slater and Jevon Neves and delivers a double follow-away slam, clearing the ring with a burst of momentum. Joe Hendry sets up for a standing ovation on Leon Slater, but Dion Lennox cuts him off with a clothesline. They brawl until Joe Hendry sends Dion Lennox over the top rope, then tosses Leon Slater and Jevon Neves out as well. Joe Hendry looks around and hits a frostbury flop onto all three men. Back in the ring, Joe Hendry tries standing ovation on Miles Bourne, but Miles Bourne blocks it. Joe Hendry counters Miles Bourne again and hits a U-wrench on Miles Bourne for a 3 count. Score updates: Dion Lennox 1 fall, Miles Bourne 0, Joe Hendry 1 fall, Leon Slater 0, and Jevon Neves 1 fall. Dion Lennox grabs Joe Hendry's leg. Jevon Neves joins in after Joe Hendry kicks Dion Lennox away, and the roll-up starts flying. Jevon Neves nearly pins Joe Hendry. Leon Slater nearly pins Jevon Neves. Joe Hendry tries another roll-up, but then Leon Slater and Jevon Neves land dual super kicks. Dion Lennox smashes the penalty box door into Miles Bourne. When they hits a spot bust on Dion Lennox on Leon Slater. Jevon Neves hits a rebound roundhouse kick, gets sent to the apron, but lands a somersault kick to Joe Hendry. Leon Slater follows with a springboard drop kick, and then he hits a swanton 450 for the 3 count. Score updates: Dion Lennox 1 fall, Miles Bourne 0, Joe Hendry 1 fall, Leon Slater 1 fall, and Jevon Neves 1 fall. 4.5 minutes left. Miles Bourne hits bone again on Leon Slater, but Dion Lennox breaks the cover. Miles Bourne counters Dion Lennox and lands another bone again, this time getting the pin. Score updates: Dion Lennox 1 fall, Miles Bourne 1 fall, Joe Hendry 1 fall, Leon Slater 1 fall, and Jevon Evans 1 fall. Dion Lennox attacks Joe Hendry in the box. Meanwhile, Jevon Evans, Leon Slater, and Miles Bourne brawl mid-ring. Joe Hendry escapes the box and takes it out Dion Lennox. Miles Bourne hits a power slam. Leon Slater with a kick. Jevon Evans with a cutter to Leon Slater. Then Joe Hendry hits a clothesline to Jevon Evans. 2.5 minutes remaining. Dion Lennox pulls Joe Hendry to the floor. Jevon Evans drives out, but Dion Lennox throws him into the referee and locks him in the penalty box. Dion Lennox hits a power slam on Miles Bourne, but Joe Hendry breaks up the corner and hits a standing ovation through Dion Lennox's roll-up to the floor. Jevon Evans escapes the penalty box and clotheslines Dion Lennox. Leon Slater flies in with a flip dive onto Jevon Evans, recovers, hitting a cutter to Leon Slater, then follows with a double jump cutter, but Miles Bourne breaks the pin. Miles Bourne shoulder tackles Jevon Evans. and he's a super born again. But Deion Lennox pulls him off. Leon Slater goes up and lands another Swanton 450, but Joe Hendry tries a powerbomb, only to tumble over the top rope. Miles Bourne for the cover, but Jevon Edwards rolls him into an inside cradle for the 3 count. The winner of the match, Jevon Evans. This was a fun main event match. This match was good, but Jevon Evans is the new number. Jevon Evans has survived the Survivor Challenge. So Jevon Evans has that dog in him, and Jevon Evans is the future of the WWE, and that's all I gotta say. But this was my favorite part after the match. This was my favorite part. After the match, Jevon Evans shows respect by shaking hands with Leon Slater and Miles Bourne. He offers a handshake to Deion Lennox as well, but Deion Lennox refuses and leaves the ring. Obafemi makes his way to the outside for the obligatory stare down with Jevon Evans. Suddenly, the lights go out. Now I thought it was the rest of Dark State, but it turns out to be, as you see the thumbnail itself, the Tigertron lights up, showing the return of Tony D'Angelo standing on a bridge, just like in his old business days of dumping bodies. Moments later, Tony D'Angelo appears in the ring and chokeslams Jevon Evans. He then spills the same mysterious matter that was previously sent to Ava in a package. The show fades out and goes to credits. And let me give my opinion what I think about this. So Obafemi looks like he's seeing a ghost. Tony D'Angelo's back. So Obafemi, you're in trouble. Tony D'Angelo wants that NXT championship belt. And give me Jevon Evans versus Obafemi, and then give me Tony D'Angelo versus Obafemi for the NXT championship. Sign me up to see those matches by itself. And WWE NXT Deadline goes off the air. Let me give my honest opinion what I think about WWE NXT Deadline. Now, WWE NXT Deadline was a good show. It was way better than Raw, NXT, Smackdown, and WWE Wargames combined together. That's just my opinion. And that's all I gotta say. But anyway, if you guys enjoy my WWE NXT Deadline review and highlights, make sure you guys please watch the video all the way from the beginning all towards the end. Hit that like button, subscribe to my channel for more West content I do on the channel. And go check out my WWE SmackDown review and highlights. And go check out my AEW Dynamite review and highlights. And also go check out my WWE Raw review and highlights I did on the channel as well. And I will see you guys tomorrow live on Twitch for some Fortnite. And shouts to TNO crew once again for going live on Twitch. And thank you guys so much for coming out to my double live stream that I did on Twitch. And that's all I gotta say. But I got a huge announcement. On December 28th, Sunday coming up, I will be going live on Twitch just to play some retro gaming. And that's all I gotta say. And it's taking me back to my childhood, and I'm gonna be playing Mortal Kombat Legacy when I get the game. Live December 28th, I will stream Mortal Kombat Legacy on my birthday live on Twitch. So I hope you guys will be there on my birthday on my live stream on Twitch. But I'm gonna do a 2-year affiliate anniversary / birthday stream. So be there on my birthday. It's gonna be. I just want to celebrate my birthday on Twitch. So I hope you guys will get a chance to make it. So on Twitch, man, I hope you guys will drop followers, get the subs, bits, and raids as well too. That's gonna help. But anyway, I'm gonna edit this video, and then I'm gonna set it to as premiere for my WWE NXT Deadline review and highs at around 4:00 a.m. on YouTube. So have a great night. Stay safe and always stay positive. Kept your crew, kept your kings, kept your club. Too sweet. I'm out of here. Gang. Mwah. Bang. Too sweet. Gang. Don't let nobody tell you different. We all can make it. And that's all I gotta say for here. But stay positive, and that's all I gotta say from here. But I'll see you guys tomorrow live on Twitch for some Fortnite, and I cannot wait for that winter special. and Fortnite, man. I'm gonna have lots of fun. And I'm gonna be streaming that too for Fortnite. I'm gonna be streaming Fortnite, and I'm gonna show you guys what I got the Fortnite skins live on Twitch, full proof. So be there and be square. So have a great night. Stay safe and always stay positive. Love yourself and stay awesome. Listen to the good people that's around you, and that's all I gotta say from here. Have a great night. Stay safe and always stay positive. Let me know down below in the comment section what you guys thinking. Let me know down below in the comment section what you guys think of WWE NXT Deadline. My favorite part was Tony D'Angelo showing up, showing. My favorite part is Tony D'Angelo makes a return with their new look at NXT Deadline. That was my favorite part. That was the highlight of the night, and I know everybody's gonna be talking about this. So stay too sweet, and I'm out of here, gang.